GCSE results day being on the 20th and A-level results day being on the 13th of August, both results day are looming around the corner. And in light of this COVID-19 crisis, it has meant that these students have not been able to sit their exams. Now, if you're a worried year 11 or year 13 student out there who wants to find out how exactly you will be allocated your grades, stay tuned. And welcome back to my channel. If you don't know me, my name is Fran and I've just finished my first year of medicine at the University of Oxford. So it's been a while since I've actually done my GCSEs and A-levels. So I've been through the process of both results day and they were incredibly stressful while the days leading up to them. So I can't begin to imagine how you guys must be feeling right now, knowing that you haven't actually sat the exams and your grades will be allocated based off, you know, previous information and teachers' predictions and all of that. The Department of Education have ensured that they'll be allocating students with grades, if possible, using a series of systems that will mean that the grades allocated will be the most reflective of that student's abilities. I'm making this video to hopefully clarify what's going to happen, answer any questions that any of you guys may have. Okay guys, I'm going to take you guys through step by step. We all know that teachers are going to be using predicted grades, but how do we start at the predicted grades then end up at the allocated grades that you're going to get on the 20th, the 13th of August? Right, step number one, schools will be obliged to send off centre assessment grades for every single student in every single A-level or GCSE they will have sat. They are basically the predicted grades if you want to think about it that way, and they will be based on evidence from your past mock exams, evidence from progress checks throughout the year, from your SATs, from finished coursework, unfinished coursework, and essentially they'll be used to back up the reasons why your teachers are predicting you that grade. Is that your centres, your schools will have to rank every single student in every single subject systematically. So say if they have a group of 20 students doing GCSE biology, they will be ranked from 1 to 20. Now, allocating grades based on predicted grades bears its problems. Number one, teachers, schools historically will overpredict students' grades when giving them to exam boards so that it will make their schools look better. And also we have the problem of discrimination, unfair treatment when it comes to teachers predicting grades. With everything that's going on in the world and the short period of time that teachers have been given to gather this data and send it off, how can we control discrimination and bias within the allocation of grades? In 2016, a study was carried out at UCL and they found that 16% of predicted grades were correct. 16% were correct. Okay, going further, 2011, a study by the Department for Business, Innovation and Skills found that black applicants had the lowest predicted grades, with only 39.1% being accurate compared to their white counterparts where 53% of their grades were accurate, showing that, you know, there's that big discrepancy and gap between predicted grades actually reflecting a student's abilities. And this can be damaging because, you know, this is a further disadvantage to these students who are often underrepresented at, you know, top universities. If you guys want to find out more about the problem of underrepresentation at top universities, check out the video I made about underrepresentation at Oxbridge. Now, the Department of Education have realised that this could be a serious problem, so they are implementing a standardization process that has been developed by Ofqual. This ensures that all grades are allocated as fair as possible. Just to make sure I don't miss out any vital information, I'm going to read from the research that I've gathered on my laptop screen. So, the model ensures that grades awarded to schools are reflective or in line to those that the school have achieved in the past. So, historically, if your school is known to achieve amazing grades, you know, 85% of their students get A stars, okay, this is theoretical, then the final allocated grades will be reflective and in line with your school's historic track record. Now, your next question is probably, Fran, how will exam boards ensure that the grades allocated are reflective? Now, they will do this by comparing the centre's assessment grades to the centre's actual historic grades. So that means the grades that the teachers send off this year is your predicted grades. Exam boards are going to take these grades and they're going to look at historically, in 2019, in 2018, 2017, etc., what did students at this school, School X, actually achieve? They're going to be comparing the attainment of this year's cohort, who should have sat their exams in 2020, in comparison to previous years' cohort's attainment. So for GCSE students, what they'll be looking at is your end of year Key Stage 2 SATs grades, and for A-level students, they'll be looking at your GCSE grades and comparing them. Now, it's important to note that they'll be looking at the prior attainment of the whole cohort as opposed to one individual. Exam boards will also have the responsibility to predict grade distributions. So in a school of 100 students, how many students will get a grade 7 in GCSE chemistry, how many students will get a grade 6, 5, etc, etc, for A-levels, A-stars, A's and B's. Now with this information, the exam boards will be able to adjust the allocated grades accordingly. So say this cohort of people sitting A-levels are a lot more able, a lot more smarter than previous years, they'll be able to see that and know that because this year's cohort got better GCSE grades. As a result, the exam boards will alter the grades sent in by teachers based on that. So they may increase the grades of some students or all of the students. However, it's important to note that the rankings will not change. Now, why is this standardization process important? It ensures that the grades allocated in 2020 have the same currency value as in previous years, and that universities and businesses, apprenticeship schemes have the same confidence in the grades allocated, and that they're not a false representation because teachers happened to overpredict all the students in their schools. So you guys out there, you don't need to worry that your cohort will be viewed as the corona year, and that if, you know, business employees see that you did your GCSEs or A-levels in 2020, they may disregard you or see you as less competent than another applicant. You don't need to worry about that. So to quickly summarize how you'll be given your allocated grade, number one, teachers will send off their predictions, which will be evidenced by your results in mock test, etc, etc, and this will form your centre's assessment grade for you in that particular subject. Next, the exam boards will look at the centre's historical performance, so how they've performed in that subject over the past couple of years. And next, the exam boards will compare the prior attainment of the centre students in previous years to the prior attainment of centres who were to sit their exams this year. And next, using all this information, exam boards will be responsible for adjusting the grades sent in by teachers in order to standardize the process, ensuring it's fair. Now, the final step in this process before you get your grade on paper is that your results will be checked against the national average results. They compare your centre's results against every single centre nationally, every single school nationally. Now, this is something that happens every single year. It's not new to this year. And yeah, that's basically it. That is how your grade is going to be allocated and calculated this year for A-level and GCSE 2020. Now, if on results day you get a grade that you think doesn't represent your abilities, you're used to getting all A's, all A stars, and on results day you end up getting a grade D, and you think it's due to unfair treatment or discrimination, you have the ability to appeal, and I imagine the Department of Education will look further into your individual case. Now, there's also the opportunity for any students to resit their exams if they're not happy with the grades that they were given. Resit dates are for GCSE Monday the 2nd of November to Monday the 23rd of November, and for A-level Monday the 5th of October to Friday the 23rd of October. The exact dates for the individual exams have not yet been released by exam boards, but when they do, I'll try and make an update video just to keep you guys in the loop. We have reached the end of my video. I hope this has been useful to a lot of you. I'm going to stick down below as many resources, kind of giving you guys more detail about this topic as possible. Now, with that said, I guess I will have to love you and leave you guys, and see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.